I step out of the rickety moving truck, the ninth one in 6 years, and the familiar weight of exhaustion settles on my shoulders like an old, unwelcome friend. I'm Alex, just turned 16, and this is our latest fresh start. Or so Mom calls it. The air hits me first, thick with the stench of mold and stale cigarette smoke wafting from the open door of our new apartment. It's a dingy two-bedroom in a forgotten corner of the city, the kind of place where the walls are stained yellow from years of neglect, and the floorboards creak underfoot like they're whispering secrets. I drag my backpack inside, tossing it onto a mattress that's probably older than I am, and wonder how long we'll last this time. Mom's already bustling around, unpacking boxes with that forced smile she wears like armor, her eyes darting to me every few seconds as if I'm a fragile vase about to shatter. "Why here, Mom?" I mutter, not really expecting an answer. She's always got one ready, though something about better opportunities, cheaper rent, a new beginning. But deep down, I know it's more than that. We've been running since I was 10, bouncing from town to town like ghosts afraid of the light. Each move strips away a little more of me, leaving me hollow, always the outsider. And now, this school. Tomorrow's my first day at Westridge High, another gray monolith of a public school squatting on the edge of the suburbs. From the pictures online, it's got cracked basketball courts, overgrown with weeds, lockers dented from too many frustrated punches, and bathrooms where the toilet paper holders dangle like broken promises. Just perfect for a kid like me, skinny, slow, the one who trips over his own feet in gym class and finishes last in every race, every test of strength. I can already hear the whispers. "Hey, that's the new kid. Looks like a total loser." Morning comes too soon. The alarm blaring like a siren in my ear. Mom's already up, her uniform crisp despite the late night unpacking. She's taken a job as the night janitor at the school, my school. "It's just to keep an eye on things," she says over breakfast. Her voice light but her eyes heavy with something unspoken. I nod, pretending not to notice how her hands tremble as she pours the coffee. We drive there together in our beat-up sedan, the engine sputtering like it's on its last breath. The school looms ahead, a fortress of faded brick and chain-link fences, kids milling about like ants in a colony. I slouch out of the car, backpack slung over one shoulder, feeling the stairs prick my skin before I even step inside. First period, English. The teacher, Mrs. Hargrove, a stern woman with glasses perched on her nose like a bird of prey, calls roll. "Alex, new student?" Her voice trails off, and the class turns as one, eyes scanning me up and down. I'm in the back row, trying to melt into the chair, but it's no use. Whispers ripple through the room like wind through dead leaves. "Another transfer kid," someone murmurs. "Bet he won't last a month." I clench my fists under the desk, my heart pounding. Why me? What did I do to deserve this curse? That's what they call me behind my back. The cursed transfer kid. Rumors spread fast in places like this. By lunch, everyone's heard about my string of schools. The weird coincidences that follow me. A fire in the gym at my last one. A flood in the cafeteria before that. Accidents, they say. But I feel it in my bones. Something's wrong with me. Lunch is a battlefield. I grab a tray of soggy fries and mystery meat, scanning for a safe spot. The popular kids hold court at the center table's jocks with broad shoulders and easy laughs, girls with perfect hair tossing glances like daggers. I end up at the edge, alone, poking at my food. That's when Jake approaches, the class clown type with a smirk that doesn't reach his eyes. "Hey, new guy. Heard you're like a bad luck charm. What's your deal? Parents in witness protection or something?" His buddies snicker from afar. I force a shrug, my voice barely above a whisper. "Just moving around. No big deal." But inside, I'm screaming. If only they knew the half of it, the nightmares that wake me sweating, shadows that seem to move when no one's looking. Mom says it's just anxiety, but I see the fear in her eyes too. The afternoon drags on. Gym class is hell. Coach Ramirez blows his whistle, and we're off running laps. My legs burn after the first circuit, lungs heaving like bellows. I lag behind, the skinny kid everyone laps twice. "Come on, Alex, pick it up," Coach yells. But it's useless. I'm built for books, not this. By the end, I'm collapsed on the bleachers, gasping, while the others high-five. That's when I overhear it again. "Cursed transfer kid. Watch. Something weird's gonna happen." My cheeks burn with shame. Why can't I be normal, strong, fast, like them? Instead, I'm weak, always the prey. School ends, and I wait for Mom in the parking lot. But she's already there, mopping floors inside. I head home alone, the apartment greeting me with its musty embrace. Dinner's quiet, Mom's exhausted from her double life, janitor by night, protector by day. We eat in silence, her watching me with that intense gaze. How was school? She asks finally, her voice soft. Fine, I lie, forcing a smile, but as night falls, the real ritual begins. She tucks me in like I'm still a child, her lips brushing my forehead in a goodnight kiss. Sleep well, my boy, she whispers, her breath warm against my skin. I drift off, oblivious, my eyelids heavy with the day's weight. But in the darkness, something stirs. Unseen by me, a single drop of her blood, black as midnight ink, escapes from a hidden cut on her finger, dripping onto my forehead. It seeps in, a seal renewing itself, binding whatever lurks inside me. Mom's not just any mother. She's a guardian in a world where curses are real, where ancient bloodlines carry powers that attract horrors. Her black blood is a relic of an old lineage, a barrier against the entities that hunger for souls like mine, weak, unmarked, ripe for possession. She's sacrificed everything, jobs, homes, her own health, riddled with a mysterious ailment that drains her, turning her veins dark. The gifted elite hoard their powers in ivory towers, while outcasts like us scrape by, hunted by shadows that thrive on the vulnerable. They can smell it weakening now, the seal fading with each move, each strain on her body. The things that hunt me, formless wraiths from the void, drawn to my untapped potential, whispering promises of strength in my dreams. They're already here, slithering in the corners of the apartment. Their presence a chill that raises the hairs on my neck even in sleep. Mom senses them too. Her night shifts, at school a desperate vigil, mopping halls while warding off the unseen. One night soon, the drop won't be enough. The seal will break, and the curse will awaken. But for now, I sleep, unaware, the cursed transfer kid in a world teetering on the edge of nightmare. As the clock ticks past midnight, Mom slips out to her job, keys jingling softly. In the school corridors, under flickering fluorescent lights, she scrubs away the day's grime, her mind racing. A shadow detaches from the wall, eyes glowing faintly. Not yet, she murmurs, her hand glowing with faint, dark energy. She fights them off, alone, her black blood, the only weapon. Back home, I stir in my sleep, a strange warmth spreading from my forehead. Dreams come visions of power, of running without tiring, of standing tall against the whispers. But with them, the hunters draw closer, their claws scratching at the veil. The next day at school, it starts subtly. A locker slams shut on its own. Whispers grow louder. Did you see that? It's him. Jake corners me in the hall. Dude, you're freaking people out. What's your story? I back away, heart racing. Leave me alone. But inside, something shifts, a spark, ignited by that drop. Mom's sacrifice is fraying. The things are impatient. By evening, as she kisses me goodnight again, the drop falls heavier, blacker. I feel it this time, a burn that jolts me awake. Mom? What? But she's gone. Her face pale. The apartment creaks, shadows lengthening. They're here, circling. The hunt beginning in earnest. In this world of hidden curses and blood seals, social divides run deep. The elite families, with their pure lineages, control academies where powers are honed, schools of magic disguised as privates, where kids like me would be experiments or fodder. Us? We're the underclass. Nomads fleeing the predators that the powerful ignore or summon for their games. Mom's disease? A toll from overusing her blood. A rare affliction that blackens the veins, shortening life for protection. Each drop weakens her, but she gives it freely. For you, Alex, she'd say, if I knew. The drama builds the isolation, the bullying, the unspoken love. I finish last again in gym. But this time, a surge of energy lets me keep pace for a moment. Eyes widen. What the? Someone gasps. Night falls. The seal pulses on my skin, a tattoo invisible to all but the hunters. They manifest now ethereal figures with jagged teeth, slinking through walls. Mom confronts one in the school basement, her mop discarded, hands alight with dark fire. Stay away from my son, she snarls, blasting it back. But more come. Back in bed, I bolt upright, sweat-drenched. The room warps, shadows coalescing. Alex. A voice hisses, promising strength, belonging. I clutch my head. The drop's warmth turning to fire. The curse awakens my own power, suppressed for safety, now stirring. Mom bursts in just in time, her face ashen. It's weakening faster than before. She presses her forehead to mine, another drop falling, sealing it shut with a hiss. But the damage is done. The hunters retreat. But not far. We're trapped in this cycle. The ninth move, just another delay. The school buzzes with rumors, the cursed kid's aura growing. Mom's job keeps her close. But at what cost? Her cough worsens, black flecks on her handkerchief. I see it now, the truth peeking through. Why do we run, Mom? I demand one night. She sighs, eyes misty. To keep you safe from what you are. The fantasy unfolds. I'm no ordinary boy. I'm a vessel for ancient energy, hunted by void creatures that feed on such power. Her blood seals it, but each use erodes her life. The tension mounts. Will the 10th move come? Or will the seal shatter here? As the chapter closes, I lie awake, the drops residue tingling. The things wait outside, patient predators. Mom watches over me, her love a shield in a world of shadows. But how long can it hold? The curse calls, and the hunt is on. The whispers have turned into screams I can't ignore. By the 3rd week at Westridge High, the white-eyed things in old uniforms aren't just standing in blind corners anymore. They follow me. I catch them in the reflection of the bathroom mirror, smiling over my shoulder while I wash my hands. I feel their cold breath on the back of my neck in crowded hallways. Even though no one else is there, they whisper my name like a song that never ends. Soft and sweet and wrong. I stop sleeping. Mom notices. She always notices. Her eyes are sunken now, cheekbones sharp under skin that's gone almost translucent. Black veins crawl higher up her throat every day, like roots looking for sunlight. At dinner, she pushes food around her plate, smiling that brittle smile. "Keep your head down, baby," she says again, voice barely above the hum of the fridge. Don't look at them. Don't answer. I want to ask what they are, why they want me, why she's dying in slow motion right in front of me. But the words stick behind my teeth like shards of glass. School is worse than ever. Gym class becomes a public execution. Coach makes us run laps until my lungs feel like shredded paper. I collapse at the same spot every time, vision tunneling, while phones hover above me recording every gasp. Soccer. They put me in goal, just to watch the ball slam into my stomach over and over. Swimming relay. I sink like a stone, chlorine burning my nose, hands grabbing my hair to hold me under longer. For laughs, they post it all. The comments are knives. Natural selection. Cursed kid deserves it. Weak freak. I come home bruised and dripping shame. Mom's waiting with pumpkin soup. The only thing she still cooks like nothing's wrong. She pulls me into her arms even though I'm soaked from the pool, strokes my wet hair, whispers,
"It's okay, baby. Mom's here."
Her body is so thin now I feel every rib, every tremble. I notice the bite marks on her neck again. Fresh crescents that close while we eat. Skin knitting together too fast to be human. I pretend not to see the black blood under her fingernails. One night I can't take the quiet anymore. I follow her. 1:47 a.m. The apartment door clicks shut behind her. I slip out in my hoodie, barefoot on cold concrete, trailing the copper smell of her blood through the sleeping city. The school fence is already cut. I crawl through and follow the wet slap of the mop to the gymnasium. She's on her knees in the center circle, sleeves rolled high, carving symbols into the floor with her own vein. Black blood steams where it touches wood, rising in curls that smell like burnt sugar and rot. Her face is pale, concentrated, beautiful in a way that breaks my heart. Then, the air rips open. A thing unfolds from nothing, tall and wrong-angled, mouths where joints should be. It lunges. Mom moves like lightning, mop handle snapping into a spear, black fire wrapping her arms. She drags it screaming into the equipment shed. The fight is short, brutal, wet. When the door opens again, she stumbles out, uniform burned, face streaked with soot and tears. The trash bins behind her are already blazing. She sees me and freezes. "You weren't supposed to see," she whispers, voice raw. I run to her, wrap my arms around her smoke-soaked body. She trembles so hard I feel it in my bones. Her blood soaks through my hoodie, warm and thick and familiar. "Mom, what are they?" She holds me tighter. "They're what comes when the seal thins, when my blood isn't enough anymore." We walk home through alleys, sirens growing behind us. That night she kisses my forehead 3 times, 3 drops of black blood instead of 1. They burn going in, heavier than ever. The next days blur into nightmare. The white-eyed things get bolder, standing at the foot of my bed when I wake gasping. The bullying peaks. Jake and his pack corner me daily, fists and words and phones. I finish last in everything, drown in everything, bleed in everything. And Mom gets thinner, until the night the rain tries to drown the world. I'm half asleep when the door explodes open. Mom's silhouette fills it, soaked, keys clenched like weapons. "Alex, storage room, lock it. Don't come out." She shoves me down the hall. I bolt the door and press my ear to the wood. The back security door slams. Then the sounds start. Wet crunches, tearing flesh, growls layered on growls. Something shrieks and cuts off with a pop. Silence falls heavier than the storm. I open the door a crack. Lightning flashes. Mom stands in the courtyard, ripping the last small horror in half. Black blood painting the concrete. I breathe relief. Then the real one steps from the shadows. 3 meters tall, bone spikes crowning its shoulders, mouth split into a carved grin of glowing teeth. Rain steams off its skin. Mom charges without hesitation, black fire roaring up her arms. She lands blows that crack the air. Its claw goes straight through her chest. Red blood, bright, human, mine, sprays across the rain. She hangs impaled for one impossible second, eyes wide, young, shocked. Then she grabs its wrist with both hands. Black fire erupts hotter, wilder. "You don't touch my son." She slams her palm into its face. The skull caves. The monster screams. They fall together, dissolving in black flame. I'm already running, barefoot, through puddles of red and black. She's on her back when I reach her, blood pouring from the hole no human could survive. I press my hands over it, trying to hold her in, sobbing her name. She smiles through red teeth. "I won, baby. Just one left." She bites her wrist open, presses the wound to my forehead. Red blood this time. Warm, alive, burning like molten love. "I only wanted you to stay human. I'm sorry. Live for me now, whatever you become. Iti from Weze." Her body unravels into black glittering dust that rises against the rain, crawling into my mouth, my nose, my eyes, filling every empty place inside me. The courtyard spins. Her janitor jacket falls empty to the ground, a soaked note fluttering out. "Live on for me." I'm in every heartbeat. I scream until my voice breaks, and the storm screams back. When the rain finally stops, I'm alone with her jacket and the echo of her last breath. Something vast uncoils in my chest, warm and terrible in hers. The seal is gone, and whatever I become next, she'll be there for every heartbeat of it. 3 days. That's how long I stayed locked in the apartment, curled on the floor with Mom's blood-soaked jacket clutched to my chest, rocking and whispering her name into the silence until my throat bled. The note she left was crumpled in my fist, ink blurred by rain and tears. "Live on for me. I'm in every heartbeat." On the third night, something inside me stirred, warm and vast and hungry, and I knew I couldn't hide forever. So I walked back into Westridge High like nothing had changed. The hallway falls silent the second I step through the doors. Heads turn. Phones rise. I'm taller now, shoulders filling Mom's jacket in a way they never did before. Black veins faint under the skin of my neck when the fluorescent lights hit just right. Nobody says a word. They just stare, like they're waiting for me to sprout horns right there in front of the trophy case. First period PE. Same cracked track, same sour smell of rubber and fear. Coach Ramirez blows the whistle for the 1,000-meter run. I used to finish half dead, puking in the grass while everyone laughed. This time, I'm off the line before the sound fades. My legs don't burn. My lungs don't scream. The world blurs, wind whipping my hair, and I cross the finish line in 2:41 while the fastest kids are barely rounding the second turn. The stopwatch clicks. Then the whispers explode. Coach's face is purple. "What the hell did you take, kid?" I meet his eyes, calm, voice flat. "I don't know." Because I don't. I took my mother's death. I took every drop of black blood she spilled to keep me sealed. I took the hole in her chest and filled it inside mine. Jake tries to laugh it off later in the locker room, but his voice shakes. "Cheater. You're on something, freak." I turn slow. Look at him the way I looked at Marcus weeks ago. Just a look. His knees buckle. He drops unconscious, hitting the tile with a wet thud. Nobody touches me after that. They start filming instead, following at a distance. Phones always up like I'm a wild animal they're documenting for science. Everything becomes easy. Too easy. Basketball, I sink half-court shots without looking. Soccer, I score from impossible angles. The ball curving like it listens to me. Tests, answers rise unbidden. Perfect scores I never studied for. Teachers glance at my papers like the numbers might bite them. The rumors spread faster than the videos. He's doped. He's possessed. He made a deal. Then the new transfers arrive. 3 of them. Perfect uniforms, perfect smiles, eyes that linger too long. I feel the trap snap shut in my gut the second she says my name. The growl inside me answers low. I say no. Every day, I say no. The accidents start the next week. Monday. My milk carton at lunch tastes like rust and bleach. I spit it out and watch the liquid eat through the tray. Lila watches from across the cafeteria, head tilted, smile never moving. Tuesday. The bus brakes fail. I smell the cut lines before the screech. I step off untouched while kids behind me scream. Wednesday. Crowded stairwell between classes. A hard shove from behind. I'm falling, arms flailing, when the darkness rises. It pours from my shadow, solidifies into arms. Mom's arms. Her face flickering for a heartbeat in the black. Fierce and protective. She catches me gently, sets me on the landing. The kid who pushed me stares, pale, phone shaking in his hand. The leaked footage shows only a blur of darkness and a woman's silhouette no one can explain. By Friday, the school is electric with fear. Phones catch everything. The milk, the bus, the stairs. Mom's ghost in the shadows saving me every time. The transfers keep smiling, keep inviting, keep failing. That night, I take the park shortcut home. 5 men step from the trees, knives glinting, cheap runes glowing on their knuckles. Hired muscle from the old families, the ones who decide which vessels get harvested and which get destroyed. Contract changed, the leader growls. Dead pays the same as alive. They circle. I feel Mom's jacket tighten across my shoulders like she's bracing me. The first knife swings. I don't dodge. The blade stops against my skin like it hit steel. Black veins flare up my arms. The growl rises, curious, eager. Then the world fractures. I black out. Not sleep, more like someone else takes the wheel. When I come back, I'm on my knees in the middle of the court. Mouth full of copper and something sweeter, richer. The air is thick with blood. Pieces are everywhere. An arm still clutching a knife. A torso split open. A head 10 feet away, with eyes frozen wide. One crawler whispers, "Monster," before going still. My hands are clean, but my shirt is soaked. Mom's jacket drinks the blood greedily. I taste it on my tongue, 5 heartbeats still pounding inside my chest, trying to join mine. I vomit black threads that writhe and sink into the concrete. I scream into the empty park, "Mom, what did I do?" No answer. For the first time since she poured herself into me, only silence where her voice used to live. Morning comes. Police tape flutters around, chalk outlines and body bags. The news calls it a massacre. I walk into school shaking, blood still under my fingernails no matter how hard I scrubbed. Nobody sits near me. Phones film from across the room. The transfers watch from the doorway, smiles finally gone, something ancient and satisfied in their eyes. I rest my head on my arms and feel the new hunger stretch, content, waiting. Mom's heartbeat is quieter now, and whatever woke up in its place is only getting started. 3 days. That's how long I stayed locked in the apartment, curled on the floor with Mom's blood-soaked jacket clutched to my chest, rocking and whispering her name into the silence until my throat bled. The note she left was crumpled in my fist, ink blurred by rain and tears. Live on for me. I'm in every heartbeat. On the 3rd night, something inside me stirred, warm and vast and hungry. And I knew I couldn't hide forever. So I walked back into Westridge High like nothing had changed. The hallway falls silent the second I step through the doors. Heads turn, phones rise. I'm taller now, shoulders filling Mom's jacket in a way they never did before. Black veins faint under the skin of my neck when the fluorescent lights hit just right. Nobody says a word. They just stare. Like they're waiting for me to sprout horns right there in front of the trophy case. First period PE. Same cracked track. Same sour smell of rubber and fear. Coach Ramirez blows the whistle for the 1,000-meter run. I used to finish half dead, puking in the grass while everyone laughed. This time I'm off the line before the sound fades. My legs don't burn. My lungs don't scream. The world blurs, wind whipping my hair, and I cross the finish line in 2:41 while the fastest kids are barely rounding the second turn. The stopwatch clicks. Silence. Then the whispers explode. Coach's face is purple. "What the hell did you take, kid?" I meet his eyes, calm, voice flat. I don't know. Because I don't. I took my mother's death. I took every drop of black blood she spilled to keep me sealed. I took the hole in her chest and filled it inside mine. Jake tries to laugh it off later in the locker room, but his voice shakes. "Cheater. You're on something, freak." I turn slow, look at him the way I looked at Marcus weeks ago. Just a look. His knees buckle. He drops unconscious, hitting the tile with a wet thud. Nobody touches me after that. They start filming instead, following at a distance, phones always up like I'm a wild animal they're documenting for science. Everything becomes easy. Too easy. Basketball. I sink half-court shots without looking. Soccer. I score from impossible angles, the ball curving like it listens to me. Tests. Answers rise unbidden. Perfect scores I never studied for. Teachers glance at my papers like the numbers might bite them. The rumors spread faster than the videos. He's doped. He's possessed. He made a deal. Then the new transfers arrive. 3 of them. Perfect uniforms, perfect smiles, eyes that linger too long. Lila introduces herself first, voice honey sweet. We heard you're amazing now, Alex. Want to eat lunch with us? I feel the trap snap shut in my gut the second she says my name. The growl inside me answers low. I say no. Every day I say no. The accidents start the next week. Monday. My milk carton at lunch tastes like rust and bleach. I spit it out and watch the liquid eat through the tray. Lila watches from across the cafeteria, head tilted, smile never moving. Tuesday. The bus brakes fail. I smell the cut lines before the screech. I step off untouched while kids behind me scream. Wednesday. Crowded stairwell between classes. A hard shove from behind. I'm falling, arms flailing when the darkness rises. It pours from my shadow, solidifies into arms. Mom's arms, her face flickering for a heartbeat in the black, fierce and protective. She catches me gently, sets me on the landing. The kid who pushed me stares, pale, phone shaking in his hand. The leaked footage shows only a blur of darkness, and a woman's silhouette no one can explain. By Friday, the school is electric with fear. Phones catch everything. The milk, the bus, the stairs. Mom's ghost in the shadows saving me every time. The transfers keep smiling, keep inviting, keep failing. That night, I take the park shortcut home. 5 men step from the trees, knives glinting, cheap runes glowing on their knuckles. Hired muscle from the old families. The ones who decide which vessels get harvested and which get destroyed. Contract changed. The leader growls. Dead pays the same as alive. They circle. I feel Mom's jacket tighten across my shoulders like she's bracing me. The first knife swings. I don't dodge. The blade stops against my skin like it hit steel. Black veins flare up my arms. The growl rises, curious, eager. Then the world fractures. I black out. Not sleep, more like someone else takes the wheel. When I come back, I'm on my knees in the middle of the court, mouth full of copper and something sweeter, richer. The air is thick with blood. Pieces are everywhere. An arm still clutching a knife, a torso split open, a head 10 feet away with eyes frozen wide. One crawler whispers, "Monster," before going still. My hands are clean, but my shirt is soaked. Mom's jacket drinks the blood greedily. I taste it on my tongue. 5 heartbeats still pounding inside my chest, trying to join mine. I vomit black threads that writhe and sink into the concrete. I scream into the empty park. Mom, what did I do? No answer. For the first time since she poured herself into me. Only silence where her voice used to live. Morning comes. Police tape flutters around, chalk outlines and body bags. The news calls it a massacre. I walk into school shaking, blood still under my fingernails no matter how hard I scrubbed. Nobody sits near me. Bones film from across the room. The transfers watch from the doorway. Smiles finally gone, something ancient and satisfied in their eyes. I rest my head on my arms and feel the new hunger stretch. Content. Waiting. Mom's heartbeat is quieter now, and whatever woke up in its place is only getting started. The days after the park blur into a haze of fear and ash. I stop going home. The apartment smells too much like her, like pumpkin soup and smoke and the copper tang of black blood. I sleep in abandoned lots, on rooftops, anywhere the city lights don't reach. Mom's jacket is my only blanket, heavy with dried blood that never quite washes out. The 5 borrowed heartbeats still thump inside my chest. Slower now, syncing with mine like they're learning the rhythm. Lena finds me anyway. She's waiting behind the maintenance shed one lunch period, same spot we used to share snacks in middle school. Her eyes are red, like she hasn't slept either. In her hands is the small gray body of the courtyard Stray the cat that got hit by a truck days ago. Its fur is matted, one eye cloudy, but she holds it gently, like it's still alive. I thought, maybe you could do something, she whispers, voice cracking. I didn't want him to just rot there. I stare at the tiny corpse. The darkness inside me stirs, curious, hungry. My hands shake as I take it from her. The second my skin touches fur, black threads spill from my fingertips, wrapping the body like silk. It collapses inward, fur dissolving, bones crumbling into glittering ash that rises in a perfect spiral and pours straight into my veins. Warmth spreads under my skin, the echo of a tiny heartbeat joining the 5 already pounding. I drop to my knees, empty hands trembling. Lena doesn't run. She kneels too, wraps her arms around me, pulls my head to her shoulder. I break. The sobs tear out raw and ugly, shaking us both. I try to push her away. I'm poisoned now. I ate a dead thing like it was nothing, but she holds tighter. I saw the videos, she says into my hair. The park. The stairs. Everything. I know you're scared, Alex. I know you didn't want this. I laugh. And it's wet and broken. They're right to hate me. You should hate me too. She pulls back, cups my face with both hands, forces me to look at her. I'm not afraid of you. I'm afraid for you. No one has said that since Mom turned to dust. The words punch the air from my lungs. I cry harder, clinging to the only person who still sees the boy instead of the monster. That afternoon, the group chat is born. I glimpse it on someone's phone in the hall. A skull icon dripping black. Name, kill it before it kills us. My yearbook photo as the profile. Eyes scratched out in red. 400 members already. They post the secret video of the cat dissolving into me, looped in slow motion. Then the park crime scene photos. Chalk outlines. Rumors that I drank blood like wine. A countdown clock. 28 days until we end the freak. Lena sees it too. In last period, she slides her hand under the desk and links our pinkies. Same promise we made when we were kids. She doesn't let go until the bell. The festival night comes too fast. Paper lanterns sway above the courtyard. Music thumping. Fireworks painting the sky in fake stars. Lena begged me to come. Just 1 hour. Let's pretend we're normal. I wanted to give her that. I wore Mom's jacket under my hoodie. Kept my head down, stayed on the edges. They separate us easy. A text that looks like it's from Lena. Meet me by the takoyaki stand. A hand over my mouth that reeks of gasoline. Bodies dragging me past the lights while fireworks drown the struggle. The old storage shed, same one Mom fought in, same one that still smells like her blood and burnt symbols. They shove me inside. Slam the door. Wedge it with a chair. I hear the slosh of liquid. The flick of a lighter. Burn the demon. Someone chants. Voice high with terror. Burn it before it burns us all. The match lands. Fire roars up the walls. Hungry. Instant. Gasoline soaks my clothes, Mom's jacket, my skin. Heat slams into me like a living thing. For one heartbeat, I'm back in the rain, watching claws go through her chest, watching her smile while red blood poured. Then I stopped fighting it. The last seal, the one she died to keep closed snaps like dry bone. The scream that tears out of me isn't human. It's ancient, furious, grieving. The walls bow outward. The roof groans and rips. Black fire pours from my mouth, my eyes, my pores, devouring the gasoline flames and turning them into fuel. My body stretches, cracks, grows spine lengthening, muscles coiling, skin splitting and healing in the same breath. I rise through the exploding roof, 8 feet tall. Maybe more. Mom's jacket hanging in charred ribbons off shoulders built for war. Hair whips wild around my face, black threaded with crimson, moving like hers did in the wind. The seal on my forehead is gone. In its place, 2 glowing slits burn open red as arterial blood, pupils vertical, starving. Below me, the festival freezes. Thousands of faces tilt upward under paper lanterns, mouths open, phones raised. Music cuts dead. Fireworks hang and die. Lena stands near the food stalls, hands pressed to her lips, tears cutting clean lines through festival glitter on her cheeks. She doesn't look afraid. She looks like someone watching her best friend die and be reborn in the same breath. I spread wings I didn't have an hour ago, shadow and black flame stitched together, and the night wind howls in answer. You wanted the monster? My voice rolls out layered, mine and hers, and something older. Here I am. The shed collapses behind me in a pillar of smoke and ash. A single drop of black blood falls from my claw, hits the ground, and the grass for 20 meters withers instantly. Panic erupts. Screams, stampeding feet, lanterns ripping from strings and falling like dying stars. The ones who lit the match are on their knees, staring up at what they woke. I look down at my new hands, long, clawed, beautiful, deadly, and feel Mom's love curl protectively around the rage. They made this impossible. I beat my wings once. The courtyard lights explode in showers of sparks. I rise above the smoke, above the city, above everything that ever hurt us. Lena's voice cuts through the chaos, small but clear. Alex. I look down one last time. Our eyes meet across the burning night. Then I turn and fly into the dark. Mom's jacket flapping like broken wings. Leaving the school, I left that night and never looked back. The city lights fell away beneath me as I rose higher. Wings of shadow and black flame cutting through the smoke still rising from the school. The wind screamed past my ears, cold and clean, washing away the smell of gasoline and burning wood. Mom's jacket flapped in tatters around my new body, too small now, sleeves ripped at the seams, but I clung to it anyway. It was all I had left that still felt like her. I vanished into the dark. Weeks turned into months. They searched for me, police helicopters sweeping spotlights across rooftops. Hunter teams from the old families combing the sewers with silver wards and blessed blades. News channels looped the festival footage. The shed exploding. The tall figure rising from the flames. Red eyes burning like twin suns. They called me a demon, a vessel gone rogue, a tragedy waiting to happen. The group chat grew into forums, petitions, calls for my head, rewards posted in hidden circles where the elite traded in bloodlines and curses. None of them ever found me. I learned to fold myself into the shadows, to become the space between streetlights where cameras go blind. I slept in abandoned buildings, on water towers, in the rafters of forgotten churches. The hunger came and went, sometimes quiet, sometimes roaring, but I fed it only on the dead things the city left behind. Roadkill, strays, the occasional corpse the hunters thought they'd hidden well. Their heartbeats joined the chorus already thumping in my chest. Mom's voice growing softer with each one, but I still came back to the schools. Not Westridge anymore. Never again. But every district has one. A gray concrete box with cracked courts and broken dreams. Every school has its weakest kid. The one who eats alone, who flinches at raised voices, who carries bruises shaped like older siblings or strangers' fists. I found them the way I once wished someone had found me. I stood outside the gate after dark. Tall now, impossibly tall. A shadow stretched too long under the flickering lamp. Horns sometimes crowned my head, sometimes not. Eyes always red, always glowing, just bright enough to be seen from the far end of the block. Mom's jacket hung from my shoulders like a cape, charred edges fluttering in the wind. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just watched. And the message spread faster than any video ever could. Touch the small one, and the thing outside will notice. Hurt the weak one, and your shadow will forget how to follow you home. Make the quiet kid cry, and you'll wake up with claws at your throat. The bullying stopped. Not everywhere, not forever. But in every place I stood guard, it stopped. Kids walked home safer. Lockers stopped slamming on fingers. Slurs died in throats when the speaker remembered red eyes in the dark. Teachers pretended not to notice the sudden peace. Parents whispered about guardian spirits. The weakest ones started looking up at the gates sometimes, like they could feel me watching over them. Some nights I perched on rooftops across the city, looking down at the lights that never slept. I traced the scorch marks on Mom's jacket with claws that could tear steel. And when the wind was quiet enough, I whispered the only word that still belonged to the boy I used to be. Mom, the darkness answered, not with words, with warmth. A curl of something tender and fierce wrapping around my ribs, around the rage that never quite settled. Her voice, layered with something ancient now, but still hers. I'm still here, baby. I'm in every heartbeat. It was the same every night, warm like her hand on my fevered forehead when I was small, hungry like the thing she died to keep asleep. It soothed me and terrified me in equal measure. Because every time I whispered her name, the line between her love and the monster blurred a little more. I became the reason the weak didn't have to be afraid anymore. The city told stories about me. The tall shadow at the gate, the red-eyed guardian, the monster born from fire and grief. Some called me a curse. Some called me justice. The old families sharpened their blades and waited for me to slip. The hunters circled closer every month. Let them come. I had nothing left to lose except the last piece of her still pretending to be gentle. So I stand watch every night, wings folded, eyes burning. Mom's tattered jacket my only banner. No one bullies the weak anymore, because the monster who still calls her mom is always there in the dark. And Mom always taught me to protect what's mine.